Welcome to your 17-minute yoga flow for strong legs. This is a quick intermediate practice with a fun dynamic sequence to help strengthen and tone your lower body. We'll begin standing at the top of the mat, gazing forward. Come into mountain pose by bringing the feet hip-width distance apart and balancing your weight evenly. Let your arms rest alongside your body. Engage your quads by lifting your kneecaps and rolling the thighs inward. Lengthen your tailbone to the floor, engage your core, and let your heart shine forward. Take a couple deep breaths here, standing strong in your mountain pose. And now we'll move into our flow. As you inhale, extend the arms overhead. As you exhale, fold forward. Pause here for about 3 breaths, just feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. Let the head and neck relax, hips lift up high, and think of drawing the belly towards your thighs. Inhale to halfway lift, bring the arms to the legs and flatten your back. Exhale to fold. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Ground down through your feet. Inhale for chair pose. Sink the hips down and lift the arms up. Make sure the feet are still hip-width distance, or if it's more comfortable, you can bring the big toes together. Draw the tailbone down, engage your core. Firm your shoulder blades against the back and soften the shoulders away from the ears. Turn your pinkies in towards the midline. Coming into a twist, inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, open your chest out to the right. Bring your right arm behind you. Left arm reaches forward. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Left arm comes behind you as the right arm reaches forward, opening the chest to the left. Knees still in line and core activated. Inhale back through center. Exhale, sink the hips down just a little bit more. Now we'll move through chair pulses. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So keep pulsing up and down, engaging the legs and core. As you lower down, see if you can bring the thighs parallel to the ground. One more pulse here. And then inhale all the way up to standing, reaching the fingertips up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high plank. Hold here. Press the floor away with your hands. And then move through your Vinyasa. So you can either come down on your knees or move through Chaturanga, lowering all the way down to the belly as an option. Inhale for your back bend, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Feel the inner thighs rotate inwards as you firm the outer thighs. Bend the knees a little or a lot and send the tailbone up and back. See if you can straighten the legs without changing the shape in the spine. Bring your gaze to the top of the mat and step forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Ground down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. We'll come into our balancing postures. Keep your hands at heart center and begin to root down through your left leg as you lift your right leg up. Bend the knee and keep your thigh parallel to the floor. Activate your core and left leg. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Now you can keep your knee bent here, or you can see if you can straighten out your right leg, testing your active flexibility. Stay strong through your left standing leg. Make sure you're not leaning back. Breathe, maybe smile, or at least soften your face. Good, take one more breath. And then slowly begin to rebend your right knee. Transition into Warrior 3. Slowly and with control, extend your right leg behind you as you lean your chest forward. Keep your gaze slightly forward and up, so your chest and right leg are both parallel to the floor. Make sure you're not overextending your right leg. Keep your core engaged. And then come into Kundalini's descent. Softly bend into your left knee and tap your right knee behind your left. Extend the right leg behind you, coming back into Warrior 3. And come back all the way into standing. Keep the right leg lifted as you slowly swing it forward, lifting the right knee up, and then extend the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, release. Keep the arms lifted. Inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Sink the hips back down. Bring the hands to heart center and soften the shoulders. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, hug the belly in. Exhale to twist to the right. Place the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and gaze to the right. Keep the weight in the heels and just check to make sure the left knee hasn't moved forward. You want to make sure both knees are in line with each other. And then breathe into your twist. Now shift your weight into your right leg. See if you can lift the left heel to come up on the left toes, maybe placing your left foot slightly behind you. Prepare to transition into a high lunge twist. So first, see if you can lift your left foot off the mat and then step it back behind you. If not, you can take a few steps to get there. Stay in your prayer twist for one more breath. Keep your back knee lifted. And then on your next inhale, find your balance, squeeze the inner thighs together and come into high lunge, hips and chest facing forward and arms reaching up. If the legs start to shake, embrace it. That means you're working all the right muscles. We'll find some movement here. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, tap your left knee to the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice and controlled. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale, Warrior 2. Hips and chest facing the left. Imagine as if you're squeezing the legs together to keep the pelvis stable. Strong here and arms parallel to the ground. Shoulders relaxed. Gaze forward and take one more breath. Now option 2, keep the feet as they are, or you can lift the right heel off the mat to come up onto the toes. Finding reverse warrior, left hand comes to the back leg, right arm reaches up and over. Again, welcome the shakes, the wobbles. Remember, it's all a part of the practice and the work. Come back into Warrior 2. Lower your front heel if you took that variation. Straighten out your right leg, triangle pose. Lean forward, right hand to your shin or the mat. Make sure you're bending from your hip joint and not your waist. Keep a micro bend in your knees. You should feel a nice stretch in the back of your right leg. Come back into Warrior 2, gaze forward. Cartwheel the hands down, framing your front foot. Come into high plank. Move through your Vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, taking 3 breaths here. Make sure the upper arms are externally rotated and you're broadening across your upper back. Keep your neck and head in the same line as the spine. Bring your gaze forward and then make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale strong through the legs, reach yourself all the way up. Arms touch overhead, and then exhale, hands through heart center. Coming back into our balancing postures, keeping your hands at heart centered. This time root down through your right leg as you lift your left leg up. Bend the left knee, thigh parallel to the floor. Activate your core. Now again, you can keep your knee bent here, or you can see if you can straighten out your left leg. Use the strength in your hip flexor and quads, and just testing out your hamstring flexibility. Try to relax your upper body. Good. Rebend your left knee and transition into Warrior 3. Slowly extend your left leg behind you as you lean your chest forward. Keep your gaze lifted, crown of the head reaching forward, hips square, and left heel reaching for the back of the mat. Breathing here. Come into Kundalini's descent, bend into your right knee, and tap your left knee behind your right knee. Extend the left leg behind you, coming back into Warrior 3. Take one breath here. And slowly come back into standing, finding your balance. Keep the left leg lifted as you slowly swing it forward. Lift the left knee up and extend the arms overhead. As you exhale, release. Keep the arms lifted. And then sink the hips down for chair pose. Bring the hands to heart center and then soften the shoulders, keeping your belly hugged in towards your spine. Inhale to lengthen through the crown of your head. As you exhale, twist to the left. Place the right elbow to the outside of the left knee and gaze to the left. Keep the weight in the heels. And just make sure your right knee hasn't moved forward, keeping both knees in line with each other. Breathe into your twist. Now shift your weight into your left leg. See if you can lift your right heel to come up onto the right toes. Prepare to transition into a high lunge twist. So first, see if you can lift your right foot up off of the mat, and then step it back behind you. Again, if not, you can take a few steps to get there. Stay here in your prayer twist. And then find your balance, squeeze the inner thighs together and come up into high lunge, hips and chest facing forward, arms reaching up. Lengthen your tailbone to the ground, spine is tall and legs are strong. Coming back into our movement, inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, tap your right knee to the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, Warrior 2, hips and chest facing towards the right side of the mat. Readjust your stance if you need to and keep the weight even between both legs. Make sure your back arm is in line with your front arm. Strong here, gaze forward. Again, option to keep the feet as they are, or you can lift your left heel off the mat to come up onto the toes. Reverse Warrior, right hand comes to the back leg, left arm reaches up and over, getting a side body stretch. Remember, if you're shaking, it means you're only getting stronger. Come back into Warrior 2, lower your front heel if you took that variation. Straighten out your left leg, triangle pose. Left hand to your shin or the mat, keep a micro bend in your knees, and keep pressing your right hip back. Come back into Warrior 2, gaze forward. Cartwheel the hands down, come into high plank. Moving through your Vinyasa when you're ready, and then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Taking a breath here with your hips lifted high, grounding down through your hands and feet. And then from here you can walk to the top of the mat and sink your hips down to the ground. Come to the center of your mat and extend the legs straight out in front of you, grounding down through the heels. Lengthen through your spine. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, reaching the hands for the ankles, maybe the shins or the back of the feet. Let your upper body hang heavy as you soften your forehead towards your knees. Take a couple breaths here as you stretch the back side body. On your next inhale, lift yourself back up. Come into butterfly pose. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open out wide. Use your peace fingers and your thumb to wrap around your big toes. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Feeling the stretch in both of the hips. Come back to your breath. With your next inhale, gently lift yourself back up. Come into a comfortable seated position. Rest your hands on your knees and close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths. Notice how your body feels and where your mind is at. Acknowledge your own strength and your own power for showing up on your mat today. Gently bring your hands together at heart center, sealing your practice with gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my app, Jess Yoga, where I post even more exclusive yoga videos. The link is in the description down below. Again, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.